Okay, this goes back 5 years ago to a discussion with the lab director that did the DNA test, and this was a sophisticated test. This was not. So I'm going to let him explain, and here it goes. Certain amount, you can only get a certain amount of base pairs normally.
Right, usually 100 to 200 tops, because the DNA is so fragmented because of just the degradation, with all the the years and wear and tear and things like that. Yeah. But I was able to
Wait, before he goes any further, I want to just mention that I took it right from the arterial blood supply in 2 out of the 3 of them. So they were dense, and he will mention that. Now, that's a big toe.
locate these primers that were in that paper that this group had had success with, and that seemed like the best option. And our mitochondrial DNA primer that will essentially amplify all types of vertebrates. So not just human, but any kind of vertebrate life form. And so they were sort of a universal type of fit for these samples, because we don't know obviously what the samples consist of. So the sequence that came back, and it was roughly for each of these fragments about 100 base pairs. Matched them up in the database, and they matched with the the human mitochondrial. There's 2 regions of the mitochondria. One is called the D, like the letter D is in dog, the D loop. And then the other one, I believe, is for cytochrome B gene. The mitochondria has several different genes that it consists of, but these primers were specific for those areas of the mitochondrial genome. So, so I, considering where we, started a couple months ago, that's, those are nice results to have.
Yeah, that's kind of amazing.
The PCR and now the DNA sequencing, so.
Wow, and how refined down is this? I mean, it's in the human genome family, meaning it's not a monkey or a primate. I mean, it's a primate, but how refined into
Right, exactly. Yeah, no, in the database it's showing, for that region of sequence that I obtained for these fragments, that they match up with 100% identity to the human mitochondrial genome. Again, the D loop, and I believe the other region was cytochrome B. I'm not 100% sure. I have to double check my notes, but I know the one was the D loop region.
Was there a substantial amount of DNA? I mean, was it something that you pretty much certain it wasn't contamination or something? That's my point.
Yeah, I've run the negative controls all along, and I haven't had anything. The idea with negative controls is you want those to always be blank, to see nothing in there. And so the negative controls have, not shown any amplification, so which is again what you want. So, confident that what we're seeing is, not any type of contamination from, handling or anything like that. So, the amount of DNA that was in the extractions too was, for ancient DNA, it was relatively substantial. So, I don't think that there was any kind of contamination with anything. So
there you have it. Now, I just want to say something about 2 people that I worked with, were the best people I ever worked with, and the one is the lab that did the DNA reports on this. This was on the 3 things I sent, but this is the palm of the hand. It's 3 feet wide, and it's a left hand, and this is the palm that runs around just like yours, and then there's a little thing that runs down there. You see, it's a tendon that runs down there, and this silver stuff is the grip skin. This hand is destroyed. It's been sitting out in the yard for 8 years now, and it's pretty much destroyed. They get frozen, and then they crack up and stuff. I think I looked at it the other day, and I don't think it's any good at all anymore. But my point is that there was nobody wanted to help at all. Nobody. I mean, I had a hard time finding people, and that's why I'm not going to say names right at this moment, because also the CAT scan people, absolutely fabulous, did 7 CAT scans, no charge, and they're absolutely fabulous. They can do racing car engines and industrial equipment. I've named these names of people before, but I don't want to get them in trouble as being associated with me, because it hasn't worked well for most people in the past. Now, I'm hoping this is going to change, and when it does, the people that did help me are going to be shown as heroes, because they put their neck out. I didn't have much to lose. I'm no hero here. I'm just a guy that found something I wouldn't walk away from. It's like this goose. See that goose? You see the feathers in the goose's head? Well, maybe it's a duck. I don't know. But I have so many of these fossils, and to have it not even examined, it's very, very, very upsetting. All right, this is one of the things that I sent to him, and this is a fingertip. That's the fingernail, and I have the fingerprints from it. I've shown it a number of times. Well, I'll show it again. Hold on. Oh, here it is right here. See that? That's a fingerprint. That's literally the fingerprints. You see, those are the little sweat pores in the grip skin. That's the fingerprint from the grip skin. This is on the other side, wrapped around on the other side of that fingertip. And I smashed it off with a sledgehammer, and then I went down inside and took from the arterial supply. Now, I also sent this, blood from this, which is a lung. You see how red the blood is in there? This is a lung. Any anatomist can tell you 100% it's a left human lung. That's the depression of the heart. You see that flat spot? They are all flat. And this is from the Great Flood. These all died in the Great Flood. I'm telling you, the stories that they told were true. This is another thing that was sent, which was this is a fingertip. It's a fingertip. Now, I've had the anatomist look at all this stuff. I mean, you don't have to be an anatomist to understand what you're seeing here. You just have to be a human being with eyesight. And this one here, it's a bonehead. Now, Yale University refuses to even accept. Plus, I have DNA tests to back all my statements up. This is where truth is denied, and this is what is going to send them in a place where I don't want to go. All right, let's talk about Eternity Day at MFU, and here's something that you want to consider when you're thinking about eternity. A gigantic fish and a gigantic dragon in the desert. And that's a dragon, and that's a fish. You have your own Google, so I'm not going to spend all day up here showing you scales and fins and dragon spit, it's all over. And this is the nastiest stuff you're ever going to see in your entire life. Now, what I would do if I was you, and you have any concern about the reality that you live in, and you have accepted what you have been told, I would do a little of your own research and look and see, is this a dragon? What do you think? And what do you think all this fluty stuff is down this dragon's body? That's his face. He spit all this stuff down on that fish. This is his neck. I've shown this so many times. And nobody can deny it. Undeniable. It is not bull. It is reality, and that is a slice of a dragon's throat. And who could slice a dragon's throat? There's text written that says, on that day, with his great and mighty sword, he will slay the dragon that lives in the sea. Oh, that's a desert. Well, guess what? It was a sea when he slayed him, because it drained into the Atlantic. And anybody that has eyes to see can see that. What? I mean, how can anybody miss this? How can anybody miss the fish? How can anybody miss the dragon? The dragon goes from here and all that was faster than any jet on the face of the planet, and ends up over here somewhere on his tail, which is additional dragon scales running off of dragon body fluids. Now I don't know if those, and I know they're red. He's red-blooded. I've studied biology so deeply, I mean, sat through so many autopsies and so forth. That is blood. Red and black is blood. The black blood is vein blood. Vein in your body is blue. When it comes out of your body, you never see blue blood squirting out of your body. It squirts out as soon as it instantaneously hits the oxygen, it oxygenates. That is the nature of hemoglobin. Now, this is the black and the red. That's it. Case closed. And I've shown this so many times. So here we are. Who can deny that? People do every day. This guy Paul, who's supposed to be some big fancy geologist. Oh, I work for all these big companies. Well, good. If you can't see that, I have no confidence in your abilities whatsoever. So good for you. And the reason he has to do that is so he can deny God. I believe that's my own opinion. I shouldn't be saying these things about people, but I don't care because that's my opinion. I have a right to my own opinion, and he has a right to his too. And that's what I'm feeling, because the people that can deny this truth and this reality because of where it points, and that's the key, to creationism, to God, no evolution, no Big Bang, none of the things that they're telling you, they cannot accept that. That is the crux of the matter. Okay, it's Truth Day at MFU, and why do I talk about truth? Well, a good friend of mine, Pete, hi Pete, how you doing, buddy, sent me this quote about Thessalonians, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, in other words, these are the people who are going to be toast, because they received not the love of the truth. See that in that special color? That means that it's absolutely true. All right, they received not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. Well, they're not going to be saved. And for this cause God shall send them strong delusion, and they should believe a lie. So there's a lot of people believe in lies that are just obvious, totally insane lies that they can live with, so that they can do the things they want to do or believe the things they want to believe. And that they all might be damned who believe not the truth. It's all over for the people who won't take the truth. If you have something in front of you that's true, and you know that it's true, and you let yourself be deluded, you're screwed. And they had pleasure in unrighteousness. Righteous or not, doesn't matter. You can't take the truth, case is closed for you. Let's talk about that now. All right, it says in the last days everything's going to be revealed. The Gospel of Thomas is from the Nag Hammadi library, discovered virtually the same time the Dead Sea Scrolls were discovered, changed everything. Revelations. This is all revelations. Now, what is this revelation about? This is the Gospel of Thomas. Now, this is Doubting Thomas. So he was right in the midst of the whole thing. Now, he says, and he said, this is all the sayings of Jesus. These are the living, well, these are the secret sayings that the living Jesus spoke and Doubting Thomas recorded. All right? Jesus said, whoever discovers the interpretation of these sayings will not taste death. So far, I'm listening. Jesus said, those who seek should not stop seeking until they find. Now, what does it mean to find? When they find, they will be disturbed. Well, what I found so far disturbs the hell out of me. When they are disturbed, they will marvel. And I have marveled as far as marveling can go, and will reign over all. I'm not reigning very well at the moment. And after they have reigned, they will rest. I'm not resting too good yet either, so I got a lot of more stuff to do. Now, there's a couple other statements in here. I mean, there's a ton of statements. I looked through the whole thing, and it's very, very interesting. But I think there's a couple that are Let me see, what was it, 50 I think it was? No. There's two of them that talk about the Earth being a body, and whoever discovers the body is in good shape, and the Earth is a corpse, and whoever discovers the corpse is in good shape. Anyway, you can look through this. I forget where it is now. Anyway, it is a body, and it is a corpse, and everything that is in the universe is a body and a corpse, and it said prior to all of the things that we were told in the Bible and all this business, that came out of the Sumerian. And the Sumerian talks about Tiamat being the body of a god, and it was cut up to be used to make our solar system or our galaxy or whatever. And I see these tendon balls, and there's no question whatsoever, they are moons. Absolutely no question. And a tendon ball in you is microscopic. As above, so below. Shown this, proven it. All right? And if you can't see proof in the things I'm showing you, then you are deluded, and you are one of the ones that denies truth. Because just the things that I've shown here terrestrial, and I have a meteorite right here. It has blood in it. Wherever it is, it's around here somewhere. I've shown you other things too. Here it is right here. That's a meteorite. That's a meteorite of a finger, and that's the blood blown out of the side of the finger. I have so much evidence to prove the things I'm saying. It is just ridiculous that it has gone this far without anybody looking at it. Not a single academic has taken the time to examine this, look at the DNA evidence, look at any single thing that I have presented. Not a single one of them. So, good for them. Deny the truth and be damned.